Hello, welcome to Dungeon Dollars Podcast. I'm your host, Justin. Today, for Martial Arts Madness Month, we're reviewing a recent movie, The Swordsman 2020, which is a South Korean movie starring Jang Hyuk as Tae-yu, Joe Taslim from the Raid movies plays Kuro Tai, Kim Hyun-Soo plays Teok, Lee Minhyuk plays Yeon-Sa-buk, Jang Man-Sik as Min Sang-ho, and Cho Jin-ho plays Lee Mak-yo. So this movie takes place during the 17th century in Korea, which they keep calling it Joseon, which I don't know my Korean history. Uh, Seriously, I watched one Korean movie that had Zhang Ziyi from from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. They were calling Korea Koryu in that movie, so it's like I don't know what's going on. Maybe Korea went through a lot of different name changes back in the day. I don't know. So it takes place in Korea. It starts off with there's a coup d'état against the king, and our main character, who's a young swordsman who's part of the royal guard, defends the king and is challenged to a duel against another swordsman, Min Sang-ho, who's part of the rebellion, who used to be a loyal swordsman or loyal soldier for the king. Defeats Tae-yu, and throughout the movie you get flashbacks and you see that you find out later that the king sacrificed himself so Tae-yu can get away with his baby daughter, right? So he is living years later. The king's daughter, which he raised as his own, is grown up. Well, I don't know how old she is in the movie, but she's like a teenager, grown up a bit, and he's currently going blind. They go see the monk, and they get told hey, you have to go in the city to get this herb. This lady, female merchant, owes me, right? So they go to the city. Things are not going well for Korea at this time. There's new leadership in the China between it was the Ming Dynasty, then went to Qing Dynasty, and the Qing Dynasty doesn't like Korea too much. They've been capturing Korean people and taking them as slaves, and they're trying to sell the Korean people back to the Korea for high prices, and that there's war brewing, and the king. People the ministers think the king is planning on sending all the nobles' daughters to China to smooth things out. While this is going on, Min Sang-ho meets up with Kuro Tai, and at first they hate each other. Kuro Tai being an envoy from the Qing dynasty, who was the brother of the emperor, right? I think they said he was the brother of the emperor. Who's also deals in slavery and has a white woman as a concubine, and is also a great swordsman, and he has a thing for swordsmen. So he's able to convince Ming Sang-ho to join over to his side because he promised to let all the Korean slaves go. While that's going on, Taeok and Tae-yu go to see the merchant girl who is a concubine of Lee Mak-yo, who is looking for a body double or something. So if he has to give surrender his daughter to the Chinese, he'll use a body double, right, or foster daughter. So after turning the female merchant, after turning away Taeok, Taeyok and Taeyu goes back, tells Taeyok, actually, I'll give you the rare herb to cure your father's eyesight if you become the foster daughter of this nobleman and look after his ailing daughter. But obviously to trick, and he's planning on, you know, using her like as a body, you know, as a body double for his daughter, which they don't even look alike at all. And it turned after there was actually a confrontation with Taeyu, and like some of the henchmen of Taeyu. So like when that does happen, they recognize Taeyok as, you know, you know, like a decoy, and they kill all of Lee Mok's like servants and take Taeyok away. Our main character goes after them, has to fight Chinese ninja warriors, Garotai's swordsman, and, you know, Ming Sing Ho, which he defeats, but like lets Ming Sing Ho live, but like Garotai's like fuck that, kills him, and they have a duel, and like it's a pretty dirty duel. Taeyu plays a little dirty, and you know, I don't want to spoil too much from the movie. So I thought the cinematography was great. There's some cool action scenes. I'm not a fan of the weapons in the movie, because you have a mix of katanas, whatever sword the main guy uses, which looks fine, you know, and like the swords that the Chinese soldiers, Chinese fighters in this movie looks like no Chinese swords I've ever seen, because they're not like the standard, you know, sabers and long swords. They're like these, like basically machetes or some shit. So I'm like, what the fuck? Even the one dude has like the machete looking sword, which looks super weird. I've never seen like a Chinese sword like that. Maybe that was what they were using in this like 16th century, but like I've seen Chinese movies that took place in the 16th century. Never seen what a sword, not 16th, 17th century. My bad. The movie takes place in the 1600s, so you know how it is. Sometimes, you know, people mix up, you know, whatever you know, year it is with the, you know, century, which is, it's always like a year behind, because obviously the first 100 years is the first century, and it takes, so you know how it works. I don't have to explain that to you guys. So I don't know. Not during the scene where he's fighting the Chinese masked ninja warriors. Well, why were they masked? I have no idea. There was a lot of CGI blood, a lot of wounds he attained that which he did pass out, and gets treated later, but like he ends up, and the merchant girl even treats his eyes, but like he still goes blind at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. I don't know, like the movie, it's the thing where I enjoyed the politics of the movie, I enjoyed the action scenes of the movie. They make the Chinese in this movie look really scummy. And I don't know, it's the thing, sorry for burping. It's the thing, if you're Chinese, you might get a little offended in the movie, because, you know, they do not treat the Chinese that well. And it's like, buddy, I'm pretty sure you eat dogs in your country too, don't you? So it's like, I wouldn't stick your nose up too high. I'm joking, but like, you know how it is. I don't know. I thought the movie was good. I'm giving it like a 7 out of 10. But yeah, I it's the thing where I'm kind of new to these like Korean like old school martial arts films, or sorry, historic martial arts films. I don't even know what genre this is, what this is called in Korea, but yeah, I don't know. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Directed by Choi Jaehoon, which, let's see if I, you know, Huh? He's only directed one movie. Oh, okay. According to Google, and he's an artist, and his art looks pretty wacky. Not gonna lie. Is that a dude with his face exploding? Yeah, it is. Holy shit, that is weird. That is weird. Some of the art looks very Mobius-esque, the black and white. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I mostly watched this movie for Joe Taslim, and I watched the English dub, so I couldn't tell how good his Korean was. Not like I would know, but like I thought face-wise, he did a great job. And when his girlfriend, spoiler, his white girlfriend gets killed at the end of the movie, that was very like, you know, because they're having a one-on-one duel, and then like the dude's our main character's losing, so he decides to kill the dude's girlfriend to put him off balance, which is like, motherfucker, that was fucking dirty as fuck. Right? And the movie, like, the Korea's like, Korea, because they killed the guy, the emperor's brother, so you'd think, and they mentioned how the Chinese army, or the Qing Dynasty's army, was at the border, so they probably would have invaded after that. They're like, I don't know, whatever. He saved, you know, the old king's daughter, so, you know, it's a happy ending. So I don't know. After the, whatever. That's the end of this review. My next movie review for Martial Arts Madness Month is probably going to be, you know what? I was going to review Drunken Master. But I'm thinking, why don't we just review Rumble in the Bronx? Because I have that movie, and that way I don't have to go out and rent the other movie. So, I don't know, we'll flip for it. I'm trying to... I had some coins here. Oh wait, I used it up, so that's a big... Oh! I have a coin right here. So, Tails... Well, this is a nickel, so it's a beaver. Beaver, we watched Drunken Master next. Heads, which is the queen. Which queen is this? Elizabeth II. So if it's the beaver, we're watching Drunken Master. If it's the head, it's Rumble in the Bronx, which is also a Jackie Chan movie. So So it's we're watching the Rumble in the Bronx movie. Alright guys, that's it for today's review. Peace.